Watches this back. Sorry. Okay, so Constitution Study Guide. Let's keep going. What are some questions that you have? Things you want answered?
Oh, I do. Number
Okay.
18.
Number 18. On part 1 study guide.
Yeah.
Homeland Security protects our borders by land and sea. Let's see. They protect our borders by land and, whoop, that's ugly, and sea. Okay, my brother, the part that he's hired through is with Homeland Security. Okay, so his job is to help protect our borders by land and sea. Okay, so that was number 18. Man, my writing is sloppy today. Number 11.
Powers that are held by the
States and not the federal government. Okay, so that would be like schools. An example of a power that the state holds that the government does not is like your education. Okay, so for number 11 you could put education. The states are responsible for education, even though the government, the federal government, can kind of send through some reforms like No Child Left Behind. Primarily, states are responsible for your education.
Speaking about education, I have a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
You know how they have like only black schools, stuff like that?
back then.
For colleges or like back in time, back in the day.
Way back in the day
Uh-huh.
and stuff. So, I heard they used to have a special ed school just for like, for people and stuff. Why they don't have that now?
Because according to federal laws, is you have to be given your a free and appropriate public education in the least restrictive environment. So that would mean like, now there are some kiddos that do have to go to special schools and things, but that's the most appropriate placement for them, but their parents pay tuition to send them there. So like the least restrictive environment for you guys, I mean, you might need a little bit of accommodations, but you don't need a whole lot. So we teach the same stuff that they teach out in classes for students without learning disabilities, or any kind of like slight physical limitation, but then there are also other classes that are more structure, like life skills. Some of those kiddos down there can't read. So it wouldn't be appropriate to place them up here, but it does restrict their contact with the general population. So you just gotta go off of what's appropriate for a kid.
Yeah, am I around this? 14. What does Amendment 4 of American that prohibits unreasonable search and seizures requires a search warrant?
Are you on which one?
14, the first one.
On 14 on part 1 or part 2? Part 2.
Yeah, part 2.
14 and part 2, yeah. Amendment 4. Yeah, so let's do those. So 14. Amendment 4 means what?
Prohibits unreasonable search and seizure, requires a search warrant.
Okay, Brady, can you open the door? Prohibits reasonable search and seizure.
I just put protect us from an illegal search.
Okay, that's fine.
I put 15 that protects the right to due process and prohibits so.
For which one? For
15.
15, Amendment 5. Yeah, Amendment 5 is like if you plead the fifth, you're not incriminating yourself. Okay, you aren't going to testify against yourself. Amendment 2. That's number 13. What's Amendment 2 mean?
Right to bear arms, to carry
Right.
a weapon or own a weapon.
So the big deal about Amendment 2 is the right to bear arms. Okay? You're gonna see a lot about that in the news, especially after all that Vegas. Number 12, according to Amendment 1, what's the constitutional right of the people?
Oh, that's not
Freedom of speech and religion and press.
Freedom of speech, press, and religion. Freedom of speech, press, and religion. Those are the three pieces that you need to know. It also includes the right to assemble, meaning a group of people get together as long as harm isn't caused. Freedom of speech, press, and religion. Those are going to be the three big ones that are going to be on your test. Number 16, according to Amendment 6, what is the constitutional right of the people? We need to go back into your amendment notes.
Which one?
Amendment 6.
Right to be notified of an accusation.
Accusation?
Yeah.
Notify of an accusation against you. Okay? Does it say anything about due process? Is that the due process one?
Just that on the one. This was 6 on. Right to fair and speedy trial.
Fair and speedy trial, that's what I was looking for. Okay, number 6, I want you to put something about a fair and speedy trial. They can't just push off the court date and push it off, and push it off because they didn't have time to get their paperwork done. Okay, they have to have a fair and speedy trial. Number 17, which amendment was included in the Bill of Rights to prevent the government from forcing citizens to house soldiers?
Oh.
No quartering of soldiers.
Isn't that number 3?
Good. Number 3. Okay, no quartering of soldiers, Amendment 3. All right. Amendment 18.
Prohibition of.
Prohibition. No alcohol. Okay, prohibition, no alcohol. Remember, can you drink at age 18?
No.
No, so prohibition, no alcohol, 18. How about 19?
Women's right to vote.
Good, big one. Good. How about, what did Amendment 26 lower?
Voting age moved to 18.
Voting.
Voting age to 18. Good. Okay. Any others? Any specific ones you want me to go over? Who officially elects the president?
Electoral.
Electoral College, good.
Congress pay doesn't change until after.
When does Congress, if Congress votes in a new pay amount or a new salary, when does that take place?
During the election.
After the next election. Okay, so Congress's pay could change after the next election.
Oh, I got one. What is number 2?
Number 2, qualifications to be president.
No, for part 2.
Part 2, number 2. Part 2, number 2, purpose of the preamble that sets up like the framework for our Constitution. Same as number 1 on part 1.
part 2 is basically amendment 1, right? For Bill of Rights.
What amendments make up the Bill of Rights?
I would say amendment 1.
No, there's multiple.
Oh, 14, 13, no, 15, 2.
Nope, that's civil rights.
The first 10 amendments?
The first 10 amendments. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments. Good. First 10 amendments, Bill of Rights. Yep.
Where's number 5?
Number 5 on
Part
part
two.
2. Articles 1, 2, and 3 of the Constitution divide the government into 3 branches. What's this principle called? That would be checks and balances. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Separation of powers. Number 5, part 2, separation of powers. Separation of powers. It divides the government into 3 branches. Separation of powers. Any others? Okay, tomorrow we are going to go through some more. Okay, so you'll have all the information that you need tomorrow, after tomorrow's class, to prepare for the Constitution test. Next week, we do not have school on Monday because of Columbus Day. Okay, but on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we are going to review for the Constitution. And then next Friday, you're going to take your Constitution test. Okay? So we'll play review games, we'll do trash get ball, we'll play a couple other games, maybe some Kahoots. But we will review for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you'll take your test on Friday. Okie dokie? All right.